If you're thinking about moving to a smaller house, you might be asking the question, should I downsize? Downsizing your home can be overwhelming, and sometimes it's hard to know where to start. Hi everyone, it's Lydia Rowe here, a realtor in Ohio, and on this channel, I like to talk about all things living in the Miami Valley. Today, we're diving into a topic that is near and dear to my heart, downsizing your home. In this video, we're going to talk about how to know if downsizing is the right move for you and how to start preparing for it. In part 2, we're going to tackle the actual steps of downsizing once you're ready. So make sure that you stick around for that. You know, over the years as a realtor, I've worked with many clients who have faced the challenge of moving out of a home that they've lived in for decades. And let me tell you, it's not just about the move itself. It's the emotional weight of leaving behind memories and routines. And yes, lots of stuff. One couple that I worked with had been in their home for over 30 years. It was a beautiful tri-level, but as they started having mobility issues, it became clear that they really needed a one-story, low-maintenance condo. The thought of moving was completely overwhelming for them. They'd accumulated so much over the years that they felt trapped by their belongings, unable to even begin to think about the process. Fortunately, they were in a position to find their new home first and then gradually move what they wanted to keep. This approach allowed them to sort through everything at their own pace once they were out of the old house and into their new space. But I know not everyone has that luxury. If you need to sell your current house before buying a new one, then organizing and purging is absolutely essential. This is where the process can feel overwhelming, but it's also where the real magic happens. A lot of us hold on to things because they carry sentimental value or because we might need it someday, right? But that's when a third party, someone who isn't emotionally attached, can really help. One method that works well is creating 3 different piles: the keep pile, the giveaway pile, and the throwaway pile. If you're finding that your keep pile is too big, set goals like cutting it in half. If you're holding on to things for your kids or your grandkids, have them come over and take a look. The truth is, if they don't want it now, they probably won't want it later. I'm gonna be real honest with you, and the last thing that I want to do is offend or hurt feelings, but for the most part, no one wants your stuff. Now, obviously, anything that has current material value, meaning that you could sell it right now for significant cash, those things are worth either selling or saving to pass down. But most of the items and knickknacks that you've accumulated are just stuff. And that's just because they have value to you doesn't mean that they're going to have value to someone else. Even people who absolutely adore you might not actually want that thing. Now, I know that that might sting a little bit, but it's true. Those items, they served a purpose, they were meaningful, they were part of your life, but it's okay to let them go. Talk about the memories, share the stories with your loved ones, maybe even take a picture to capture that moment, but then let it go. There are various nonprofits that will come and pick up your giveaway items or that have drop-off points, and there are many folks who will haul junk and come grab your throwaway for pretty low cost if you don't want to deal with it yourself. If you're in the Miami Valley of Ohio and you need some referrals for house cleaning, organizing, handyman, junk hauler, or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me. I can usually help find someone or point you in the right direction. If you aren't in this area, a real estate agent isn't a bad place to start. They usually have a great network of contractors handy since they help people with these types of moves all the time. Downsizing is about making room for the next chapter of your life. It's not about losing anything. It's about gaining freedom, mobility, and the ability to focus on what truly matters. So how do you know if downsizing is a good idea? Here are some signs. If maintaining your current home feels like a burden, if you have rooms that go unused, or if you're simply ready for a change that allows you to focus on experiences rather than things, downsizing might be right for you. Let's talk about those 3 reasons a little bit more. Home maintenance. The larger the home, the more work it takes to maintain. That's just a fact. 1 or 2 bathrooms to clean is much more feasible than 4, right? Dusting 2 bedrooms and a living room is much more manageable than a full basement, 2 living rooms, a dining room, a sitting room. And what about lawn care? Although gardening can keep you young and vibrant, and some amount of physical labor is good for you, a smaller yard and a smaller garden is more manageable to keep looking nice and enjoyable for you. Another factor here is mobility. If you're having trouble getting to certain parts of your home, then it's difficult to keep it properly maintained. If you never use the upstairs and it's pretty much just sitting there vacant, it's going to deteriorate and lose value. Which brings me to my next point, which was rooms being unused. Unused rooms is a great indicator that it might be a good idea to downsize. Now, if you're not having trouble maintaining it and you use the space a few times a year, then it might be worth staying. I know my parents have people over all the time. And us kids and grandkids, they living out of town, they stay there over the holidays and they host graduation parties and all sorts of things. So downsizing for them would not make sense, even though there are rooms that aren't being used part of the time. And then the last reason to consider downsizing is what I mentioned earlier. If you're feeling a little trapped by your stuff, if your property taxes are super high, or you're still paying on a mortgage, or you're having to pay someone to come clean or mow, and you really want to free up some money so that you can go spend more time with your grandkids, or take that trip to Italy, or spend the winter in Florida, or take up skydiving, getting to those things on your bucket list. If your current home is holding you back, it's keeping you from doing the things that are important to you, then even though it's going to take some time and it feels overwhelming, it might be time to consider downsizing. I encourage you to talk to your family and friends. Having their support and their help is going to be really nice if you decide to move forward with this. But also, do take their advice with a grain of salt, because ultimately this is your choice and your life. And a lot of kids are nostalgic about that home that they grew up in, but even they might not realize how freeing it's going to be for you and how much more available you could be if you just took the plunge. Okay. So now if you decide to move forward, a lot of prep is going to go into it before you actually move. And I'm going to talk about steps in the next video, but I do want to mention that it's really never too early to talk to a professional when it comes to looking at buying or selling. These are big transactions and timing is important, and having someone's advice and expertise on the front end can save you some headaches, maybe give you some shortcuts, and keep you from spending your time and money inefficiently. Now, here are some general tips to start prepping for a downsize. Number one, take it one room at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. Tackle small sections and celebrate each victory. Number two, enlist help. Whether it's family, friends, or even a professional organizer, don't be afraid to ask for assistance. Number three, create a plan for sentimental items. Decide ahead of time what's truly meaningful and what you can let go of. Number four, remember the end goal. Keep that vision of your next space in mind. It'll motivate you when the process feels tough. Downsizing your home is an emotional journey, but it's one that leads to a more manageable, stress-free lifestyle. If you're feeling stuck, just know that you're not alone. So many others have faced this, and they've come out on the other side happier and lighter. In the next video, we're going to dive into the actual steps of downsizing once you've prepped and made those tough decisions. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you don't miss it. And if you have any questions, or if you're currently going through this process, drop them in the comments. I would love to hear your stories or help in any way that I can. If you're buying or selling at the same time, or you're already starting to prep your house for sale, watch these videos next. And remember, this isn't just about moving houses, it's about moving forward. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part 2.